So, Anton, have you had a good week so far?
Well, I had good week. I started new project on this week.
Uh-huh. That's always nice.
Mm,
So, good job security as well, right? So, Alabek, are you there? Okay, maybe he's having internet problems or it's just being slow for him. I know it was for me. It wouldn't load and I had to go into Google Hangouts 3 times. So, if he's having the same problems I did, that would be the case. So, yeah. So, do you have any plans for this weekend, Anton?
This weekend I'm learning English
Uh-huh.
to gain some vocabulary and
Uh-huh.
phrases.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to sleep. That's my plan for the weekend. So, um, with this cold, it's kind of thrown me through a loop. Do you know that I have been thrown through a loop, thrown
We,
through
we in
through a loop.
Russia have almost the same expression.
Do you?
Yeah,
Okay, so I don't have to explain it then. Yeah. Yeah, because it's like, it's funny because my sister and I are the only ones that have caught this cold, but it's been like, this is terrible. So, Alabek, are you there? Alabek. So, no, what time is it is it about 1 p.m. where you are?
yeah, it's 1 p.m.
I'm getting good. Hi,
Hey,
Alabek.
hey,
We can't
Alibek.
hear you speak.
Alibek, in the panel, click the cog.
See if that'll work. Uh, so, maybe, yeah, this might be an internet issue.
Hello.
So, uh, did I just hear you, Alabek?
Yeah. Did you listen me? Do you listen me?
I hear you. Yes.
Okay.
Awesome.
I
Awesome.
had a problem.
Yeah. So, how are you doing?
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. It's been a couple weeks since I've seen you, or at least a week. So, so
What?
is it Alabek or Ibeck?
I back. I back.
Ibeck. Have I been calling you Alabek all this time?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
you?
Sure.
I have been. Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized. Uh,
No problem.
wow. So Ibeck. Okay. My eyes, I guess, are correct this time. So anyway, yeah. So how are things in Kazakhstan?
Good. Everything good.
Yeah.
Right now 12 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
and I just wake up.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
So is your Friday already started? I mean, is your weekend already started?
Yes. I came from my job after night shift.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Yes, today is Friday for
Uh-huh.
us.
Uh-huh. And what do you have any plans for the weekend?
She actually not, but maybe later I will think about that.
Uh-huh.
What will I do?
Awesome. All right. So the topic for this class is a discussion. It's not really a discussion. It's more of a answering questions, and it's hopefully they're interesting questions. And my hope is that one person will answer a question and another person will be intrigued and ask more. Okay. So these are questions. Excuse me, I have a cold, so I'm having to mute and cough every once in a while. So, but these are questions that are about your life. So, my life so far. So, let's go ahead and start. So, the first questions we have is about your childhood, birth and childhood. So, and keep in mind, since this is English class and language class, the purpose of this is for language. So, if you do not want to tell the truth, um, you can make it up. I might say really, and then you have to make that part up too, but that's okay. So, um, so Anton, where were you born?
I was born in Kazakhstan,
Kazakhstan.
in Uсть-Каменогорск city.
Okay.
I lived here. I've been living here there for 10 years.
Okay. So I have been living here for 10 or there for 10 years means you are still living there. Are you still living there?
No, I live in
Okay.
Russia.
So
It's
what you would say, what you do, you would say, I lived there. It'd be lived there for 10 years.
okay.
So it would be because it's over and not continuing at all. It would be just a regular simple past tense. I lived there for 10 years. Okay. All
Okay.
right. Awesome. Thank you. And Ibek, how about you? Where were you born?
I was born in south part of Kazakhstan,
Mhm.
in Taras city, and right now I've been living in Astana. It's the capital of Kazakhstan.
Okay, capital of Kazakhstan. Okay. All right, thank you. So both, it's a kind of ironic. You're the only two in the class, and both born in the same country. So,
Yeah.
and I was born in Idaho. Actually about 5 miles from where I live, which is amazing to me because I have learned that most of the population lives within 5 miles of where they live, where they were born. And I always said I never would. And now, now that's what I'm doing. So, hi, Daniel. How are you today?
Hello, I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Very good. Remind me, you are from Mexico?
No,
No.
from Kazakhstan.
Daniel, all three of you are from Kazakhstan.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
What?
Wow. So, Daniel, you're from
Other guys
Kazakhstan?
from Kazakhstan too?
Yeah, the other two people were born in Kazakhstan, not from, I mean, Anton now lives in Russia, but yeah. So, Daniel, where were you born?
I was born in Kazakhstan and I live now in Kazakhstan too.
Huh? Okay, awesome. Do you guys, Beck and Daniel and Anton, this is kind of funny. Can all three of you speak Kazakh? Anton, can you speak Kazakh, or since you lived there only as a
No,
child?
I'm unable to speak Kazakh.
No? Okay. You don't speak Kazakh? Okay. But that's amazing. Are there other people from Kazakhstan on Verbling, or is it just kind of ironic that all three of you were in the same class at the same time? Wow. So, wow. Okay, so, Ibek, how did you get your name?
Uh, if I'm not mistaken, my name was given by my father, and uh, he gave me this name.
Uh-huh. Okay. And Anton, how did you get your name?
Well, my mother called me and I don't know how she came up with it.
Uh-huh. Okay, from your mother. Daniil, how about you? How did you get your name?
My mother and grandmother called me Daniel.
Uh-huh. Okay. So from your mother and grandmother. Okay. And I also got my name from my grandmother. Excuse me, from my mother. But my name was chosen because it was an H name, and since I was a twin, my mom grew up always wanting to have a Heidi. So my twin sister's name is Heidi, and they needed to have another name to match Heidi with an H. So I was going to either be Holly or Heather, and at birth they decided on Holly. So, all right. So Ibec, what is your first memory?
About child, do you mean about childhood?
Yes. Yeah. The first thing you can remember.
I remember how always I got presents from father and mother and
Uh-huh.
my brother, and I remember how they played with me, and I remember how we traveled. Mm, that's all.
Uh-huh. All right. And Anton, what is your first memory?
Well, my first memory, how how I learned to drive tricycle. It's or tricycle. How it's
Tricycle,
right?
yeah.
Tricycle.
Okay. And that's awesome. Okay. And Daniil, what is your first memory?
My first memory, I remember how I was able to walk, how I stayed at legs. Yes.
You remember
How
learning to stand?
yes, stand and legs and
Wow.
yes.
Wow, that's very early. How old were you? About a year or?
I don't remember.
Uh-huh. But that's the first thing, earliest you remember.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and I remember I must have been probably about 2, maybe 3 years old. And my sister and I my mom was getting us into the bathtub. And since there were two of us, we both ran off. And it was in the middle of the day, so we ran outside. And I remember we didn't have any clothes on, and we were just running away from mom. And um, and I remember my brother riding down the street on his bicycle, and I remember waving at him, and I remember him pretending he did not know me. So I must have been 2 or 3, maybe possibly 3 or 4. I don't even know. Um, and I also remember at a very young age, my mom putting us into a high chair. Do you guys know what a high chair is?
No.
Okay. Um, let me show you guys a picture. Um, a high chair is
Yeah, for babies to uh,
it's the chair that children babies sit in usually. Let me quickly show you. I'm not using my um, bear with me a moment. I'm not using my second monitor, so this takes a little. So, but this is a high chair right here. Um, so, but she would put us in there, and the reason she did that was because she was trying to keep us contained because she was trying to make dinner and we were running all over the place and she couldn't. She had three older boys and my sister and I, and we were just too much, so she would put us in there. And I remember trying to get out and not being able to figure out how to get out. And I asked her about it about maybe a year ago, and she said, "Yeah, I did that when I was trying to make dinner, because you girls would always be underfoot." So underfoot is another word that you can talk about with children. So I think if you are parents, maybe you will understand understand that. So, all right, let's go back to the. All right. Okay. What is your best memory from childhood or of childhood? Ibec.
Uh, I remember. I like to remember how I how I broke place of my brother, and he after that got angry and then stole my broke my bicycle.
Oh
That's my
wow.
best memory
Uh,
right
what did you break of his?
I broke, I don't remember, but I broke something important for him game.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So you had a strong sibling rivalry. Was he older or younger than you?
He's older, man.
Uh-huh. Does he still remind you?
Yes, yes, he still remains.
Anton, how about you? What is your best memory of childhood?
Well, I remember how uh, once my parents' dog uh, jumped at me on my hands, and he actually was twice bigger than me,
Ah,
and it was funny.
did it scare you?
No, it's not scared me.
Okay, well that's good. That's good. So you like dogs now, right? So
Yeah.
awesome. And Daniil, how about you? What is your best memory from childhood?
Every time I with my parents, with my family, we went to fish. Yes, to fish,
Uh-huh. We
fishing.
went fishing. You would say we went fishing.
Yes,
So,
and I remember every day
uh-huh.
all this.
Uh-huh. So
My
so
best. What?
yeah, did you go every weekend or
Yes, every weekend.
uh-huh. Uh-huh. So does your mom have a lot of good fish recipes?
Yes.
So, yeah. All right. Okay, the last question. Do you remember your first boyfriend or girlfriend? Ibec, what do you remember about your first boyfriend or girlfriend?
I remember first my girlfriend. Uh, it was when I studied at sixth class. I was nearly 13, if I'm not mistaken, or 12.
Uh-huh.
It was interesting. How we walked, how we uh, went to school dance
Uh-huh.
place, and it was interesting. Right?
Uh-huh. Do you remember her name or do you know where
Yes,
she is now?
I remember her name, but I don't know where she is now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so
Oh,
she was good
okay.
girl.
Yeah. How long were you boyfriend and girlfriend?
We was nearly 4 months or 6 months, nearly
Wow.
that time.
And at that time period, that's a long time actually.
Yeah.
So,
Then I think, I get angry to each other for something, and then we broke our relationship.
okay. That happens when you're that age. Excellent.
Yes.
All right. Hello, Saud. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
And nice to see you again. So we just to introduce you to the other classmates, we have Ibek from Kazakhstan and Anton from Kazakhstan. No, I'm sorry, Anton from Siberia, and Daniil from Kazakhstan, and then hello, Ken, and everybody.
Yes, hello.
This is Saud from Saudi Arabia, and this is Ken from Japan. So, all right. So we were just talking about this class. Basically, is you're basically having a chance to talk about yourself, and like I told the other guys earlier. Remember, this is just a language course. So if somebody asks, if a question comes up, and you don't want to answer it, just make up an answer. Don't tell the truth. It doesn't matter because it's all English. All we're doing is practicing English. So you don't have to talk about yourself if you don't feel comfortable. So we're going over the last question right now. Do you remember your first girlfriend? So Ken, do you remember your first girlfriend? If so, tell us about her.
I remember my first love.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How old were you?
Maybe 2 in the elementary school.
Uh-huh. Second grade? Okay.
Second grade, yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. And how long were you together?
No, I just no, I didn't even talk.
Oh,
Just,
okay.
yeah.
So let me tell you the word for that one. That is called unrequited. Unrequited love. An unrequited love means a love that is not returned, which all of us have had that an unrequited love where we like somebody and they do not see us as more than friends, or they don't even know who we are. So that is called an unrequited love. And sometimes that's worse than the real thing. So, Anton, how about you? Do you remember your first girlfriend?
Yeah, I remember her. Her name is Anya. We were 12 years old, and we were together for about 6 months.
About 6 months, wow. And did you also have a quarrel and stop, like Ibek?
I'm sorry, what's
Do you remember? Do you remember how you stopped? Did you have a quarrel or a fight? Or
no, we just live in different cities. And she visited her grandmother in our town. And then she returned back to her city. And I don't know what happens to her after that.
Okay. And Daniel, how about you? Do you remember your first girlfriend?
Yes. It was first class. How can I remember?
First grade.
Yes, and we were together 1 or 2 weeks. I don't remember.
That's pretty much the case. Of course, 1 to 2 weeks for a first grader is like 6 months or 8 months for a 13-year-old, you know. So, and how about you, Sal? Do you remember your first girlfriend?
Well, I had no girlfriend because our culture here.
Different, yeah.
Yeah, different culture. The female live separate and far away from the male here. You know. It is a prohibited relationship here.
Yeah, in some respects, that might be nice for some kids. They might be
Mm,
more successful. So,
yeah.
yeah. All right, and for me, I think my first boyfriend was kind of like not really a boyfriend, but kind of like a boyfriend. Um, I think we sat on the bus once and held hands, and then I got all the girls in my class to get him down on the floor so I could kiss him on the cheek, and then I got in trouble at school for it, and then I remember telling him I love him. This was all in about a week, and we were 7 years old. And after that, I think it was just an unrequited love, and because I don't think he liked me after I, um, what is it? After I told him I love him, it was funny. So, but it
Okay,
is a memory.
what
So,
about that man who chased you and you told your family and nobody believed you?
oh, that was actually about 10 years ago, and it was an older man in his 50s, and it was when I was living in Finland, and it was actually quite scary. But he actually lived. He was what we call a stalker, and he
Soccer,
lived. Yeah, and he was about 20 years older than me, and didn't have any social skills. And he didn't couldn't speak English, and his only way of communicating with me was by following me. And so, yeah, we had to ask him to stop, and so, but he thought it was a relationship. So, but that was definitely not during childhood. So,
how to
um,
spell it? Soccer?
stalker. It's on the Google chat. I just wrote it down. Stalker. It's spelled with an L, but it doesn't. You don't say the
Yeah,
L. So stalker. It's like
yeah.
Walker, but with the ST. Walker. Okay, so let's talk about school. So, what can you remember about elementary school? So, Saud, tell us something you remember about elementary school. Sorry about that.
Elementary school. Yeah, it was not quite at all. I am a troublemaker, and I always play when the teacher explained the class.
Oh, really? So you
But
were
actually, I was a high achiever.
uh-huh, okay. But you also clowned around.
Yeah,
You were like what we call were you like a class clown?
yeah,
And the class clown is the one that everybody laughs at and everybody likes, and
yeah. Come on.
so so all right, Daniil, how about you? What can you remember about elementary school?
Um, I was I was like to study and the,
Okay, so you'd say instead of I was liked, you'd say I liked studying.
yes, I was studying, and then after fifth class, I didn't like study anymore.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
So you were interested in. Okay, that wasn't him. Oh, that's from you, Daniil. Okay, there's a sound behind you. Um, I thought it was Saud. Um, so you liked studying, and then you went to school, and then you didn't like studying. Okay. Anton, how about you? What can you remember about elementary school?
I only remember that it was in the one building with high school, and it was like a little um, pre-building. How I can say it?
Say that again.
Pre-building. Can I say that?
Pre-building?
Yeah,
It was a small building, maybe?
it's a small building. Yeah, small
Hmm.
building with that to that build with a big building.
Okay.
I don't know how it's explained.
Yeah. Well, um, so it was like the little building before in front of the big building. Was it in front of
Yeah,
or beside?
it was beside.
Yeah. I went to school like that as well. So it was basically, yeah, it was just the elementary school that was right next to the big high school. So, okay. All right. Um, uh, Ken, how about you? What can you remember about elementary school?
Yeah, I went to two elementary schools. In the first school I went, it was an old school, and the building are old, and it was and beside that old elementary school, there is a how can I say gate of the old castle. So I sometimes played that area on the way
Uh-huh.
home.
Uh-huh.
And the TV station just opened
Uh-huh.
beside beside the elementary school, and the museum opened
Uh-huh.
in front of the elementary school. So this area were my kind of playground on the way home. And after that, my family moved to Azatan, and that elementary school was completely new. It had just started, so the building concrete and kind of typical modern building, and yeah, atmosphere is these two schools are very different. What is very different? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, yes, I hear you.
Oh, you can hear me. Okay. Which one do you like better, the first one or the second one?
Both are good because
They were both good.
yeah,
So good memories from both.
I remember maybe new a new building. I was excited of, of the new building for study.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Ibeck, how about you? What can you remember about elementary school?
I remember that the time was hard to study for me. I needed to learn a lot, but I remember my friends, my classmates, and with one of them still I get a good relationship. He is my still best friend, and
Mm-hmm.
that's all.
Okay. All right. And still your best friend. That's pretty great. Good. Yeah. For me, in 6 years of school, I went to I went to four schools. One of them was a three-room schoolhouse, and one of them was a four-room schoolhouse. The three-room schoolhouse had first grade and second grade together, third and fourth together, and fifth and sixth together. And um, in the fourth grade, the four-room schoolhouse did the same thing, only they had kindergarten and first together, second and third, fourth and fifth, and sixth grade was alone. And so that was I went to those kind of schools for actually 4 years, and then the other two years were some normal schools. Um, and so they were small schools, and I didn't in my first year, 2 years of school, I didn't learn anything, and so being able to go to a small school with two grades together, I was able to catch up, and that was really good. And I was able to catch up and then go ahead, which was great. So, but that's what I remember. I just remember going to so many schools. So, okay. Let's go ahead and choose some of these questions because we're not going to get all through all of them. Ibec, can you choose one of these questions and answer it for yourself and then ask somebody else?
I would like to ask everyone, what sports did you do?
Yes, okay, that's a good one. What sports did you do? So everybody, so why don't you start, Ibec? What sports did you do?
I went to box. It's a popular type of sport in our country.
Uh-huh.
Box
Boxing?
and yeah, boxing. And additional, I liked to play basketball, and it's I like this, and I still like this game.
Hmm. Is basketball popular in Kazakhstan?
Not so popular, but it's I don't know why I like that game.
Uh-huh. Do you have any people from Kazakhstan in the NBA?
I think no, no.
No? Okay.
No, there's no.
No, okay. Yeah, because I know we do have some Eastern European players, so. Okay. And, well, how about Ken? How about you? What sports did you do?
Yes, I did. I did soccer, basketball, dodgeball, and after that I began to go to the swimming school.
Mm,
Yeah, that,
okay.
and now I love swimming and walking.
Okay. So did you ever go into competitive swimming where you went to swimming competitions or swim meets?
Not so much, but yeah, I participated swimming much.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, swimming meets is what I believe is what
Okay.
meets, yeah. Swimming meets. Okay. And Anton, how about you? What sports did you do?
I wasn't swimming, and additionally, I did volleyball.
Mm-hmm. Do you still swim?
Yeah, sometimes I have a abonnement, how subscription.
Uh-huh. So you have a what we would probably say is a membership.
Yeah, I have membership.
Membership to the gym. Yeah. All right, thank you. Daniel, how about you? What sports did you do?
I like wrestling. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, you're right. Wrestling. 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 So in this one, you actually pronounce the L. So but you don't actually say the T. So wrestling.
Wrestling.
Yeah, wrestling. Yeah. All right, thank you. And Saud, how about you? What sports did you do?
Karate and football.
What was the first one?
Karate. Karate.
Karate.
Karate, yeah.
Karate. Yeah, in English we say karate. Okay, karate and football. Okay.
What's this?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how we
Karate.
pronounce it. Karate.
Karate.
Yeah. And now what country is karate from?
You think China
Is it
or
from
Japanese?
Ken, do you know where is karate Chinese or is it Japanese?
Karate from Japan, Kung Fu from China.
And then Taekwondo from Korea.
Korea, yes.
Okay, so karate is from Japan.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And okay. Awesome. All right. So Ken, can you choose one of these questions? And either you can ask one person or have everybody answer it.
Okay. I ask everybody. Did you study again after you left high school?
Okay. So why don't you start first, Ken?
Everybody.
Yeah, but could you answer first?
Me, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
After high school, yes, I have been learning English by myself. Yeah, after high school.
Yeah. Did you but did you go to university though?
Yes, after that I went entered the university's English course.
Okay. And Ibec, how about you? Did you study again after you left high school?
Yes, I studied at university, and I got two education after that. And
Excellent. And Anton, how about you? Did you study again after you left high school?
Yeah, I went to college.
Okay. And did you finished college too?
Yeah, I was graduated.
Awesome. All right, Daniel, did you study again after you left high school? You're currently studying, aren't you?
Yes, I'm a student now.
Yeah, so you're a student at university?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And if I remember right, Daniel, you are studying the same thing that Ibex studied. So, because I think I was telling you guys about each other. It's a long time ago. So, and Saud, how about you? Did you study again after you left high school?
Yeah, I have a double major. I finish my diploma and bachelor.
Okay, awesome. And so, what diploma?
Security science, criminal
Awesome.
justice.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And bachelor for my business administration. So
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Let's go on to the next page. We have some more questions about later on in life, work. So, Anton, why don't you choose one of the questions and for everybody to answer?
Okay, let's start with the first one. What's your first job?
Okay, so why don't you start first by answering it?
Okay, my first job was I worked as electrician at the Moscow Metropolitan.
Okay, and was that a part-time job or a full-time job?
No, it was part-time job. I was I would say.
You were a student?
Yeah, I was student and I must pay by this income for my learning.
Okay. All right. And Ibec, how about you? Oh, thank you, Ken. See you later. How about you? What was your first job?
My first job was I worked as a real estate manager. It was when I studied at the university, and I had to earn money and to live to pay for my rent, and I worked as a real estate manager.
Awesome.
Mhm.
All right. And then Daniil, how about you? What was your first job?
My first job was promoter and shop assistant in the same time. Yes.
Okay. And
when I was need money for university, I worked first time.
Okay. And Saud, how about you? What was your first job?
it is critical to explain, but actually it was for 3 months. I had worked as a tea boy and I never prepare tea.
So say that again.
Tea boy.
To
In
boil?
the oven.
Okay. Yeah,
Tea
because you
boy in
work
the
in
oven.
yeah, you work in the oil industry.
No. That was tea boy. You know tea boy?
T-boy. No, I don't know that. Huh? Oh, you were T-boy. Oh, yes, I do know that. Okay,
Okay.
got it.
I had worked for 3 months, but
Uh-huh.
I never repair any make any tea. Only
Uh-huh.
in the document for the government, because the government enforced that company to record citizen. And
Ah.
I didn't know this is my title job.
Oh, so wow. So the company they hired you because you were Saudi and they had to have at least one Saudi in the company.
Yeah, yes, we called here Saudization.
Uh-huh.
But when I know my job, uh, I I resigned from that company. And when I
Uh-huh.
get another job, the first real job, it was security guard. Yeah,
Okay. Uh-huh.
yeah,
Which gave you more dignity than a T-boy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I complete my study, then I transfer to good position
Uh-huh.
or good job.
Uh-huh. And now you work in the petro industry, right?
Yeah. I'm a
Okay.
communication dispatcher.
Uh-huh. Yes. Okay. Yeah. And it's funny that what was your first job is another question. This is the third day in a row that one of my classes have that's a question has asked. So I'm going to tell you guys my first professional job because the last 2 days I have explained that my first job was when I was 11 and I delivered newspapers. But my
Yeah.
first my first professional job was after university. I got a job as a call center rep for AT&T, which is American Telephone and Telegraph, and
Mhm.
I worked there until the world called and I started teaching English in Korea. So, but and I'm sorry
Okay.
my voice is going. So
Why did you resign from the AT&T? It's a good
um,
company.
well, yeah, it was a good company. I was 24 and I started when I was 21 and I had just gotten notification that I could get promoted to account executive, which would have been the first level of management. And
Mm.
but at the same time, I was really, really bored, and I had traveled just a little bit right before then, before
You
when I was 20. I had traveled and I wanted to see the world. And so I saw a newspaper ad that said, teach English in Korea, no experience necessary.
Mhm.
All you need is a college degree. So I called about it and they hired me. And so what my plan was to go there for a year, and then go back to the States and go back to AT&T. That was my plan. And
What's the brochure? No experience needed.
yeah, it said no experience needed. This was in 1994.
Okay,
Nowadays,
how can you handle that class without
well,
experience?
it was on the job training. It was
No.
an interesting year. I was 24 and I had never taught before. I came from a business environment to a teaching environment, which was very different. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, and
it
so
is good strategy.
yeah, I had some very good colleagues who taught me. But I flew into Korea. They told me that I had one that they told me they would train me before I went to the classroom. I flew in on a Sunday evening about 10 p.m. The next morning, they picked me up. They took me to the school, and they gave me a textbook, and they said, "Here's your class. Go teach it." So I said, "But I haven't got any training. What do I do?" And they said, "Introduce yourself. Have them introduce themselves, and the class will be over."
Good
And
strategy.
yeah, and that was my introduction to teaching English as a second or foreign language. It was in May of 1994, so
Mm.
20 years ago, and um, I've learned a lot. I went ahead and got my master's degree in teaching English because I didn't know what I was doing, but it was funny when I went to Finland after I got my master's degree, I still started my classes the same way. I went in, introduced myself, and then I asked everybody to introduce themselves, and it was even after training, I still did the same thing. But funny. Okay, so all right. Danielle, can you choose a question?
Um, what do you like best about your work?
Okay, so Danielle, what do you like best about being a student?
Um, I think more you can practice how to how to say it, to communicate with people when you show persistence.
Okay, awesome. All right, Saud, how about you? What do you like best about your work?
Actually, my work stress. There is nothing. But do you mean my skills or what?
Well, no, like, do you like meeting the people? Like the last job I had that wasn't teaching. The thing I liked about the job the most was the people that I met, the colleagues I had. It could be something
Actually,
like that.
I like when I learn something new every day. Uh, that encourage me to hard work. But
hmm
if I know everything in my work, it will be bored.
It's boring, so you learn something
Mm.
new every day. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, and that's one thing that about teaching that I absolutely love. When I was working at AT&T in sales, it was easy. I I was able to get 200% of my quota, no problem. But when I started teaching, it was difficult and it wasn't easy, and I had to learn new strategies for every group. Um,
Mm.
and so it was a challenge. So Anton, how about you? What do you like about your job? Best about your job?
I like about my job that it is remotely. I actually can work from any point, any side of world.
So you can work. You say that it's what?
It's remotely.
It's
I work
remote. Oh, awesome. Okay.
remotely,
Uh-huh.
as well as you now.
Yeah. I love remote work. Yeah. Okay, so you can work anywhere. You can take a trip to Finland and work from there if you wanted, right? Or you could go see Saud in Saudi Arabia and work from there, as long as you have internet access.
Yeah, only internet access required.
Awesome. Right. Alabek. Ibec. Now that I noticed the correct spelling of your name.
It's okay.
Ibec, how about you? What do you like best about your work?
I think I like that. I like that the good collective, and it's I think important in work, and
Mm-hmm.
I think I like best of that that my work is not far from my house, and I don't need to go there through traffic jam,
Mhm.
and that's all.
Okay, yeah, so it's very close to your house. That's nice that you don't have to do traffic jams, and that's one nice thing about remote work as well. So awesome. Well, it was nice. It was great to hear from you all, and so we just all got to talk a little about our life or our life so far. Is anybody planning on? Oh, we got some more questions. Oh, for some reason I thought it stopped at work. Um, does anybody plan on retiring early and traveling?
Mm, yes, me, I hope to early retire from my company.
Uh-huh. And yeah, and travel.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, that's my plan as well, is to
Mm.
retire. Well,
But,
I might not retire early, but once I retire, I will travel.
but
So,
there is a obstacle
uh-huh.
uh, that enforce me to stay here.
Mhm.
My parents,
Yes. Mhm.
because I have to take care of them.
Mhm. I totally understand. That's one reason why I came back to the States. So,
Mm.
even though I have siblings, so, yeah. All right. Well, thank you all for your participation. I hope you got a chance to practice, and there were some words that we wrote down so that maybe you learned some new words. And thank you very much for everything, everyone. Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, teacher.
Bye
Thanks.
bye. Thank
Bye.
you.